With their unmatchable loyalty and unconditional love, it's easy to see why dog is human's best friend. And when that overgrown sweetie of yours looks at you beggingly with those big, sad puppy dog eyes, it's easy to understand why even the most hardened heart would slip a French fry or two under the table. But let's be honest here, let's face the facts. That's a dog you're looking at, not a person. And a dog's mind and body functions differently than yours does. There are some foods they just should never eat, whether they want to or not. And oh yeah, they want to. Some foods that are even considered healthy for humans are actually toxic to dogs. Nasty. Others won't be quite so deadly, but can still cause some serious discomfort for your buddy. So they're best to be avoided. The best thing, of course, is to stick with the dog food that your veterinarian recommends for your pet. But it's natural to want to give them treats every now and then. So, okay, fine. But here are 15 foods to never give your dog. Number 1. Onions and garlic. If you use any form of onions and garlic in your meals, then save the leftovers for your own lunch instead of sharing them with your dog. Onions, garlics, and leeks are part of the allium plant family, which can break down red blood cells in canines. Scary stuff. This can cause your dog to become anemic, and that can be very scary. Garlic in particular is 5 times more toxic to dogs than the other allium plants, which in and of themselves are not good anyway. Even the onion powder found in baby food can cause an issue. Eating large amounts of raw garlic and onions is especially disconcerting, but even small quantities over an extended period of time can cause some serious problems. Symptoms of anemia in your dog can include weakness, vomiting, little interest in their food, and breathlessness, among others. Number 2. Peaches, plums, and persimmons. Who knew so many fruits were a bad idea to feed to your dog, eh? And my little angel would eat almost any one of them that she could get her paws on, so I do my best to keep her paws off them. The fruit itself isn't a big issue. It's the darn pits inside that cause the damage. Most obviously, the pits can cause intestinal blockages that can turn serious very quickly. However, the pits also contain cyanide, which is toxic to humans and pets alike. Humans know to not take a bite out of the pit, but your dog might continue chowing down and probably will. In addition, persimmon seeds can also cause inflammation in the intestines, adding even further to your dog's discomfort. Number 3. Yeast. If your dog has become an accomplished counter surfer, that is, has started jumping up on grabbing food from the kitchen counter all on their own, then it's best to not leave your rising bread dough unattended. Oh no, yeast in any form before it's baked is extremely dangerous for your dog. It'll continue rising in their stomach. This can cause gas to accumulate in their digestive system. Not only can this be very painful, but it may also cause the stomach or intestines to become obstructed or distended. The yeast also produces ethanol as a byproduct. Ethanol, yeah, get your dog drunk. Oh, and it's not that fun, pick up the cute poodle down the road kind of drunk either. No, we're talking that rolling in your own projectile vomiting, make out with your own sister kind of drunk. Oh, not good. Not good at all. Number 4. Grapes and raisins. According to the SPCA, the compound in grapes and raisins that is toxic to dogs is actually unknown. But whatever it is, it's dangerous enough that it can cause kidney failure in canines. Eating these otherwise innocuous, sweet little snacks can also cause severe liver damage. That's scary. How your dog responds, of course, to eating some of them will vary based on breed and size, but even a handful can cause some serious problems. A dog that has had only a couple of raisins could possibly go into horrible kidney failure and have to be hospitalized for days. And then if you don't seek medical attention for your pet, This can ultimately be fatal. Bye-bye. So feeding grapes or raisins to your dog should be avoided completely. Number 5, alcohol. As you've probably gathered from the information about yeast, your dog getting drunk is not a good thing. It might be amusing to watch your dog bob and weave after lapping up some spilled beer, but it's not a funny problem for your dog. Alcohol has the same effect on the dog's liver as it does with humans, but it takes far less to do the same damage. Even a little bit can cause vomiting, diarrhea, central nervous system depression, problems with coordination, difficulty breathing, coma, and even death. You should think of your dogs as children when it comes to ingesting alcohol in any form. Their enzymes are similar to ours, but the effects of alcohol are much more potent. Keep an extra eye, of course, on the sangria and the jungle juices, all those cutesy drinks. Although not even your red wine is safe. Puppy is much more likely to try and lap up that fruity cocktail that makes, the alcohol smell so different and so yummy. Number 6, candy and gum. If your gingerbread houses and other candy decorations at holiday time are in danger of being gobbled up, it might be time to switch to new holiday traditions and just keep all that candy and gum completely out of sight. Both of them will often contain a sweetener called xylitol, which is also found in toothpaste and some diet foods. It's nearly guaranteed to be in sugar-free sweets. You can bet on that. May seem like a nice sugar substitute for us, but for dogs, xylitol can lead to an insulin spike, which is not good at all. In fact, it's ultimately bad for blood sugar and can potentially cause, you guessed it, liver damage. In fact, if xylitol is among the first 3 to 5 ingredients in those goodies, it's probably toxic for your little puppy. Number 7, macadamia nuts. If you regularly snack on macadamia nuts, or if you're one of those white chocolate macadamia cookie fiends, they are, after all, so gosh darn delicious. Make sure you keep your stash hidden from your furry pal. Along with chocolates, grapes, and garlic, these nuts in particular are some of the worst foods you could ever feed your dog. As few as 6 macadamia nuts can make your buddy ill. Really ill. Whether they're raw or roasted, doesn't matter. Always dangerous. Poisoning can become apparent through muscle tremors, vomiting, and even paralysis. Symptoms might only last for 12 to 48 hours after ingestion, depending on the dosage, but you should take it very seriously if your dog accidentally eats even a handful of these nuts. Number 8, corn on the cob, or as my friend a long time ago, Willie, used to say, corn on the bone. Of course, he was only 2. I know what you're thinking, and yes, corn might be the number 1 filler ingredient in many dog foods, but when it comes to feeding little Captain Eats His Own Poo anyway, skip the au naturel version that comes on the cob. Dogs will just keep on chowing down on it long after the kernels are gone, and ingesting large bits could cause digestive issues, primarily blockages. A chunk of corn cob that's even just a few inches big can be enough to cause a serious problem. In the worst cases, eating corn cobs can land your pup in surgery. Not only is that painful, but it's expensive. Number 9, caffeine. You won't find most dogs sitting on the john reading the paper in the morning with a coffee in their hand, but they should stay away from caffeine in all its forms, including in sodas and energy drinks. And that's not just everywhere, that's like on the ground, so don't spill it. Simply put, caffeine is essentially poison to your dog if they ingest it. Caffeine contains substances called methylxanthines, which are found in the fruit of the plant that's used to make the coffee, and in the nuts of an extract used in many sodas. Number 10, This is one that I think everybody knows about, but just in case you didn't, you do now. Chocolate. Like caffeine, chocolate contains methylxanthines and can carry the same dangerous side effects as caffeine can. All types of chocolate contain these compounds, but it's more prevalent in some kinds than in others. Dark chocolate, chocolate mulch, and unsweetened baker's chocolate are particularly potent and harmful to dogs. So lay off, Fifi. I'll just have to eat that whole box of chocolates myself. Aw, too bad. Number 11, salt. Handing over a fistful of potato chips or pretzels to your dog is probably not the best example of sharing is caring. Eating too much salt can cause excessive thirst and urination and lead to sodium ion poisoning. While we know we should drink plenty of water, especially the moment we actually begin to feel thirsty, we might not remember to monitor Cujo's water intake. Out of luck. A chip or two won't cause any major harm, but it's best to dish out those low sodium alternatives whenever possible, just to play it safe. Number 12, milk and dairy products. Not all dogs are lactose intolerant, and those who aren't will be fine eating the occasional ice cream or yogurt treat. Angel loves them. Even so, it's best to avoid milk and dairy products for the most part. As with most foods that dogs can't eat, they'll experience vomiting, diarrhea, and other digestive issues if they happen to be lactose intolerant. In some cases, they could also experience an allergic reaction, which will most likely take the form of itchiness. Number 13, avocados. While avocados might have some healthy benefits for people, served on toast, in guacamole, or even by themselves, our furry partners won't get the same benefits that we do at all. Avocados contain a compound called persin, which, you guessed it, can be toxic to dogs. Among other issues, persin can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and heart congestion. Not only is persin in the fruit itself either, but it's also in the pit, in the leaves, and even in the bark of an avocado tree. So if you happen to live in a warm climate where avocados grow naturally, lucky you. Keep little Dexter away from those trees. Let him whiz somewhere else. Just avoid any temptations at all. Number 14, fat trimmings and bones. Mr. Snuffles may well seem to thrive on the fat trimmings from your plate, but as it turns out, eating too many fat trimmings can lead to pancreatitis in dogs, otherwise known as an inflamed pancreas. Not pleasant at all. And bones given to domestic dogs can cause them to choke, or the bones can splinter and become very dangerous during digestion. Cooked bones are particularly risky, as their chance of splintering is far greater than raw. Some sources say that raw bones are okay, but others suggest, hey, just forget about the bones altogether. It's your call, but be nice, okay? Number 15, any human medicine. I repeat, any human medicine. This should be a no-brainer, but unfortunately, it's not. Unless you've received specific directions from your veterinarian, and I seriously doubt you would or have, don't become your dog's over-the-counter drug dealer. It didn't work for Elvis, and it didn't work for MJ, and it most certainly won't work for little Fluffy. Reactions from medicines meant for human consumption only is the most common form of poisoning for dogs. People think an aspirin is okay. No, ingredients like acetaminophen and ibuprofen are incredibly common in OTC medications, but they're absolutely deadly for your little furry friend. Well, I hope this list has saved a few puppies from unnecessary illness, or maybe even from death. I don't think anybody intentionally wants to cause problems, and if you are one of those kind of people, go for it yourself. Oh, that was too close. If this video helped any of our four-legged buddies stay safer and healthier, then it did its job. Thanks for caring enough to watch and to learn and to implement it, I hope. Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can join us on Twitter here and on Facebook here. I'll catch you here next time.